when you look at the crowds today, you have maybe 5,000-6,000 people here. On the streets yesterday, 1 million people, 1 million Iranians in the street for the Ayatollah Khomeini. Does that not give you concern? Does that not make you afraid?
Because they are afraid, yeah, that's right. And most of the people don't say anything because they are afraid. And they are in silence, you know, they don't say anything.
Is this the silent majority of Iran out here now?
Yes, that's right.
Do you want the Shah to return?
Yes, Shah return to the country.
What about you, Why do you want the Shah? Why does she want the
ما شاه میخوایم ما بیچاره این
شاه کشتنش حلاله کجای قرآن گفته
47 years we've been bleeding in the dark, under the shadow of the Islamic regime, with a stone-cold heart. They silenced our voices, they turned off our light. 58 days without internet, but we still fought the night. Our children took the streets, they raised their empty hands, and the world looked away. Do you understand? Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? 42,000 souls are gone, killed in 2 days by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? Do you feel anything at all? Or did something break inside you while Iran answered the call? Do you know Europe? 42,000 lives, 2 days, that's all it took. Mothers and fathers and sons, did you even look? We stand with Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, our hope and voice. Millions behind him marching, he is our only choice. He only fights for freedom, democracy and human rights. But you mock him in your chambers while he fights for our lives, to pull us out of this darkness, this century-long night, while you sign deals with our killers and call it diplomatic right. Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? They hang 60, 40 souls one by one, hanged within 4 months by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? Do you feel anything at all? Or did something break inside you while Iran answered the call? Do you know Europe? What happened to you, Europe? What made you so cold? What turned your heart to stone? our story went untold. Is oil worth more than blood? Is silence worth the shame? Because while you negotiate with murderers, we are dying, calling your name. Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? 42,000 souls are gone, killed in 2 days by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? We are still here. We are still strong. Do you know Europe? How much longer? How much longer? How long? Do you know Europe?
To all of our friends around the world, under the yoke of the Islamic Republic, Iran is identified in your minds with terrorism, extremism, and poverty. The real Iran is a different Iran, a beautiful, peace-loving, and flourishing Iran. It is the Iran that existed before the Islamic Republic, and it is the Iran that will rise again from its ashes the day the Islamic Republic falls. So let me be clear about how a free Iran will act towards its neighbors and the world after the fall of this regime. In security and foreign policy, Iran's nuclear military program will end. Support for terrorist groups will cease immediately. A free Iran will work with regional and global partners to confront terrorism, organized crime, drug trafficking, and extremist Islamism. Iran will act as a friend and a stabilizing force in the region, and it will be a responsible partner in global security. In diplomacy, relations with the United States will be normalized, and our friendship with America and her people will be restored. The State of Israel will be recognized immediately. We will pursue the expansion of the Abraham Accords into the Cyrus Accords, bringing together a free Iran, Israel, and the Arab world. A new chapter will begin, grounded in mutual recognition, sovereignty, and national interest. In energy, Iran holds some of the largest oil and gas reserves in the world. A free Iran will become a reliable energy supplier to the free world. Policymaking will be transparent. Iran's actions will be responsible. Prices will be predictable. In transparency and governance, Iran will adopt and enforce international standards. Money laundering will be confronted. Organized corruption will be dismantled. Public institutions will answer to the people. In the economy, Iran is one of the world's last great untapped markets. Our population is educated, modern, with a diaspora that connects it to the four corners of the world. A democratic Iran will open its economy to trade, investment, and innovation, and Iran will seek to invest in the world. Opportunity will replace isolation. This is not an abstract vision. It is a practical one, grounded in national interest, stability, and cooperation. To achieve this, now is the time to stand with the Iranian people. The fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of a secular, democratic government in Iran will not only restore dignity to my people, it will benefit the region and the world. A free Iran will be a force for peace, for prosperity, and for partnership.
وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته ایم قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه روبروم یه واژه یه هدف به نام انتقامه پشت سرم دعای مادر و تو دستم تفنگ بابامه رو زبونم اسم شاه بگینین عشق بی انتهاست هر جا اسم ایران اومد اونجا صدای بچه رضاست فردا می نویسن تو کتاب قصه دیمار بگو با تیر جنگی کشتن بچه های بیگناه رو بگو از بخت مادرها شیر زنا و دختران بگو تنها شهید شدیم تا تنها نمونه شامون وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته ایم قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست
همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم بالا و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه
سلام من به تو یار قدیمی منم همون هوادار قدیم
سید سلام چطوری مردک کلی کتلت شدین دایی بدون مدرک سلام بسیجی قهرمان رفتی پیش توسی با پنیر و یه نون سنگک سلام به محفل قرآنیتون سلام به مدیرای بحرانیتون سلام به حاجی اکبر و طوله هاش و خارج و رفقای ارگانیتون سلام به دستای پول ملت که تش میفتین توی تور ملت سلام به همه شما کرکسایی که دارین نونتون رو میزنین تو خون ملت ساکتش زیر دست و پاک و تک بخورین حالا هی به یه بادکنک بدوین سلام آخر تو زندان باشه وقتی قرار به این آب خنک بخورین مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا اینو بگذاریم به خاک میرسیم تجزیه طلبی که به خاک بیرسیم ایران مردمش وطن پرستن از کرد تا بلوچ بری به فاک بیرسی توف به هر چی مرسی است توف به هر کی در پی تجزیه است توف به لوی و همونی که شیفته ی گل ملیگرا تو وطن خدا نسلی هست سر کردستان همه برپا شدن بلوچستان فدای مهسا شدن شمع واحد که شیر و خورشید ما بقی جعلی ها تنها شدن شادی باشه واسه همه در میهن کور بشه چه شهرچی اهریمن رخه رو بگید اون 6 کلاس سواد و خبرگان و مجد سری ترجیحن شبهای عروس و دامادی باشه برن سلامتی نوش کنن آبادی باشه مقصد کجاست میدون شهیاده به سمت اتوبان آزادی باشه سلام به نسل ندید پدیدا نبودیم ندیدیم قدیمتی ما شاه بود تو شادی کل میزدین حالا شاه بر میگرده پیک میزنین مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا
اگه به این خوشگلی بانو آیده بود اسم این عشقاین رو توش بیاریم ولی خب لازم بود دیگه فکر کنم بانو آیده
Let's go. میخوام بگم از دلم، از عشق به این میهنم، به امید روز شکست دشمن شاه برمیگرده به وطن. برگشتن پهلوی، وحشت هر اجنبی، بلند بگو همشهری شاه رضا پهلوی. نظام رسیده پرتگاه، بلند بگو جاوید شاه. برگشت شاه به میهن، دوای درد وطن. این آخرین نبرده، پهلوی برمیگرده. داره میاد پهلوی، زجه بزن سید علی. راه نجات وطن، پهلوی هموطن. ایران میشه گلستان، شاه که بیاد به ایران. ایران که شاه نداره، حساب کتاب نداره. آخون باید گم بشه، توپ تانک فشفشه. گم شو بیرون اجنبی، داره میاد پهلوی. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن ها. ما شاه میخوایم نه ملا، بذار بشنوه دنیا. ایرانی داد بزن، شاه تو فریاد بزن. برگشتن پهلوی، وحشت هر اجنبی. بلند بگو هموطن، شاه رضا پهلوی. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. بلند بگو جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. بلند بگو جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه.
Look at us here today. We see so many flags representing so many nations. We know we are not alone, and we thank you for being with us. For all people around the world who stand today in unity with the Iranian people, this is not just because it's good for us, and you do it out of compassion and care for our rights to liberty and justice and equality and human rights. But understand that it is in your best interest too, to have, unlike this regime that has been propagating terror and radicalism, we the people of Iran are peacemakers and not warmongers. We like to be friends, especially with the free world. We'd like to be able to have the best neighborly relationship with the people of our area and the region, with the Arab countries, with Israel, and all our other neighbors. We are fighting for justice, we're fighting for human rights, we are fighting for liberty, we're fighting to put an end to all sorts of discrimination. Because as an Iranian, I stand here to tell you that I've dedicated 47 years of my life because I think that my country deserves far better than what we have right now. To now understand that their best remedy is to support the people of Iran, because ultimately a free Iran will be your best partner, not just to bring stability and peace, but it will be in your best economic interest and opportunities. Together we can prosper again, and the world will be so different once the Iranian people are free. I am here to guarantee a transition to secular democratic future. I am committed to be that leader of transition for you, so we can one day have the final opportunity to decide the fate of our country through a democratic, transparent process, through the ballot box and free elections. And let's make sure that this time, especially the free nations of this world and their governments, stand on the right side of history.
Well, Durud Patriots, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to day 155 of Iran Revolution Live with your wonderful and amazing host, Mr. Armin Navabi.
And your wonderful and amazing host, Goldie Ghamari.
Thank you so much. Armin, how are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Finished my 2 streams already, and on the Persian stream, I was using your arguments because more people in Iran are tuning in, and some people were concerned about President Trump's ceasefire, and maybe he's not interested in like being aggressive against the Islamic Republic. So, based on everything I learned from Goldie Ghamari, I was using all the points that you bring up. And I think it was very convincing, and people there were like, "Yeah, okay." So that was really good. Like, I think it was very effective at calming people down. Yeah.
Okay, I'm really happy to hear that because I mean there is a lot going on, and for people who may not necessarily have all of the information, right? Like all of the geopolitical information, sometimes it's easy to get caught in the weeds, but I think the really important thing to remember, especially when it comes to the situation with Iran and the Islamic regime, is you can't look at one particular statement in isolation. You have to take that statement and you have to analyze it within the broader context of what's going on. You have to, analyze it based on previous statements that have been made and things that have been said. Because, if you just look at every individual piece of the puzzle, that in and of itself won't make sense. It's when you put it's like a puzzle, right? Every single individual piece on its own doesn't really make much sense. You have to put all the pieces together to get the big picture. So, wow, I'm glad to hear that. What's the latest word out of occupied or out of Iran?
Well, we have so many politicians. Actually, I'm going to find this clip. I was like, I saw earlier today. I don't know where I saw it, but there's so much internal struggle, right? Like the division right now. There are people that are more openly coming out and calling out the regime officials for keeping them in the dark, for not being transparent with them. For trying to get a deal with the Americans, and they're promising that they're going to basically stir stuff up if there's a deal. Like, they're promising that there will be a backlash. So I'm just enjoying watching. I'm reading the comments from the pro-regime people, crying every single day, wanting to go back to war and cursing the officials, saying that, what are you guys doing? Why are you negotiating? So I'm just really enjoying. We saw Mujtaba Khamenei recently came out and said we should stop the division, basically for the first time, confirming highest levels of division. We have a recent statement from Ghalibaf. So it's now
to be clear, though, that statement from Mujtaba, it's not him coming out. It's just like a written statement, right?
So I tell people every time I say Mujtaba, like here, the institution of Mujtaba, not Mujtaba himself.
Yeah, it's not like the cardboard supreme leader came out on TV and showed that he's alive or anything.
Right. So it's a brand, okay? It's not a person anymore, okay? Mujtaba is a brand for the institution of the Beit Rahbari. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, no, I think that's important because I know, like, when we're talking about this, on like the Iranian side, especially, in Persian with our Iranian friends and family, like when we say Mujtaba said this or that, we know like it's implied that it's just a written statement. But for many of our new followers as well, or people who are tuning in, they might be like, "Oh my gosh, what? He's alive?" So.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So.
True. When did this happen? Oh my God! Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's called the curse of knowledge. Like we just assume that the things that we know. You Goldie, you're so good at not having the curse of knowledge. Like, basically knowing that the things that your audience doesn't necessarily know them, and you always go back and explain it for an audience. You don't, so many people just assume that the audience is just with them on everything, but you're such a good teacher because you don't have that problem. I have to learn that from you. But yeah.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think you do. I think you do a fantastic job, especially when you're doing your media interviews. So yeah, okay. And on the American side, so not only did President Trump have an interview last night, which I did like a late night interview watch party. We watched that, but I'm checking President Trump's Truth Social, and I bookmark all of his posts that are related to Iran, and he actually also, look at this. Let me just share this really quick. So he posted, okay, so first of all, like there's a whole bunch of trolling images that I want to share because it's really funny. So let me just bring it up. So he posted this, Trump Energy 2026. But then, and then this one too. You're getting discombobulated, right? I mean, Armin, this doesn't look like someone who is entertaining, appeasing the Islamic regime and allowing them to survive.
No.
Right? Like I just don't see it. I don't see it. But on top of that, President Trump also said, watch Mark Levin tonight at 8, a big show. I actually haven't watched Mark Levin's show last night. I just saw his interview with Lara Trump at 9 on Fox News. But President Trump has posted 2 videos from Mark Levin. I'm assuming they were from his show last night. I haven't watched those either. And then, there's a few more, there's another like post here. And then President Trump retruthed Newt Gingrich, which, that makes me, like, I'm sure Newt Gingrich is saying something fine. I haven't read it, but given the fact that Newt Gingrich is paid by the MEK to speak at like the MEK events, I'm just like, someone needs to tell President Trump that, Newt Gingrich might not necessarily have the best interests of the United States at heart because he's a paid spokesperson for the MEK. And, we've shared that video before. But yeah, that's sort of what we have on the American administration side. So
Rapid Response has some videos of President Trump on Fox News.
Let's go to that. I'm sure we could find, you know what? So I think his entire interview is actually on the Fox News channel. And the part about Iran is not actually that long. So if you want, we could. Here we go. I have like it's like a 10-minute clip from President Trump. We should probably play the whole thing so that we can get the analysis as well. So here we go. It's about 10 minutes long. Have you seen it, Armin?
I only saved the clips from where he's talking about Iran, and I just wanted to watch it with us. So I haven't watched it yet.
Okay,
but yeah, we can watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and watch this then.
Okay.
Okay, well, Mr. President, thank you for welcoming us back here to the White House.
Thank you.
One of the things that I think everybody wants to talk about with you is Iran. Obviously, I know it's top of mind for you. You have actually said you either want a good deal or no deal at all with Iran. So what does a good deal look like for you?
Well, first of all, there's no deal that's good enough because the media will cover it. We're making a great deal. We're going to make it a great deal. Or we'll just go back and finish it off militarily. But this would go faster. It's probably better on a humane standpoint. There's something nice about it also. Save a lot of lives. Whether it's the other side or not, you save a lot of lives. But we're close to a very good deal. And if we can make it good, otherwise we just start up with the Department of War, as we call it. And it's been very successful. You saw Venezuela. It was a one-day win. And this is really a win already. We've defeated their military, essentially defeated their military. I would rather get a deal because we can open the strait immediately upon signing. The one guarantee that I have to have is that there will be no nuclear weapons. They've agreed to that. And it was very interesting. They originally said, we will not develop a nuclear weapon. I said, well, what happens if you buy a nuclear weapon? So now it says we will not develop or in any way purchase a military weapon. That's a big difference. So we're getting what we want slowly, very tough negotiators. It takes a long time. I'm in no hurry. I'd like to say I'm in a hurry because, you know, gasoline.
You know, that's actually an important part, Armin, the part where he says not just acquiring, but buying, because that was a question on a lot of people's minds. Like, what's stopping the regime from buying nuclear weapons from China or Russia or North Korea or even Pakistan, right? But here's the thing, like, regardless of what the terms of the negotiation are, you can't trust the Islamic regime. Like, they've never ever stuck to their word, right? Like, they're basically lying constantly.
Yeah. So one thing that, I mean, I think President Trump, hopefully he's just trying to mess with them and buy time here and just basically cause them to have internal division, because I don't buy it that President Trump is trying to get them to say that we're not going to make or buy any nuclear weapon, because if that was the goal, we already had that with Ali Khamenei. Okay, like if the goal is to get them to say that, I mean, we don't trust them. Ali Khamenei already had said, I mean, this would be as buying the fatwa of Ali Khamenei had a fatwa against nuclear weapons, and we didn't value that at all. Like, that would be John Kerry level of, you know, believing, you know, the same idiocy and lunacy of John Kerry and Obama, thinking, oh, they have a fatwa. They said they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. So I don't buy it for a second that President Trump is fighting to get the Islamic Republic just say, like, okay, we'll agree not to have any. Like, this is not about the terms of the surrender should not be about not getting a nuclear weapon. The terms of the surrender should be about the enrichment of uranium. Okay, not a nuclear weapon. Like, no enrichment of uranium ever, with verification forever, with no sunset clause, and Americans inside Iran checking that you're not, and not in only certain sites. Everyone in Iran should be verifiable that you're not enriching uranium, and we also will take out your enriched uranium ourselves. So that is the level of humiliation that we want for this to be a surrender deal, not like a so-called ceasefire deal. So yeah, the discussion should be more on the enriched uranium rather than them getting a nuclear bomb or not. But I think President Trump is just messing with them, hopefully, by saying that right now. Right?
Yeah, I think President Trump knows that this deal is not going to go anywhere, because here's the thing. This interview was not live. This interview was pre-recorded on like sometime this past week, like either on the Thursday or the Wednesday. So this entire time that negotiations have been happening, when President Trump recorded this interview in the middle of the week, knowing that it was going to air on Saturday night, he was pretty much convinced that no deal is going to be made by the time this interview airs. And I think that in and of itself says something. Because if President Trump was so confident that the Islamic regime was going to agree to the deal, why would we be watching a pre-recorded interview where on Saturday night he's talking about the status of the negotiations and why the Islamic regime has not agreed to anything yet?
Exactly.
Immediately upon
great
signing,
point.
The one guarantee that I have to have is that there will be no nuclear weapons. They've agreed to that. And it was very interesting. They originally said, we will not develop a nuclear weapon. I said, well, what happens if you buy a nuclear weapon? So now it says we will not develop or in any way purchase a military weapon. That's a big difference. So we're getting what we want slowly, very tough negotiators. It takes a long time. I'm in no hurry. I'd like to say I'm in a hurry because, you know, gasoline prices are going to come tumbling down. But if you're going to be in a hurry, you're not going to make a good deal. And slowly but surely, we're getting, I think, what we want. And if we don't get what we want, we're going to end it a different way.
So that's interesting because I think everyone has acknowledged that the United States has been in a defensive position against Iran. They've been aggressive to some extent, and we've been defensive. Is there a line that they would cross for you to go on the offensive again militarily?
Well, a deal that wasn't going to be good for us is the line, ultimately, because, I'm playing it out and we're going to see. And that's what I do. I negotiate. They negotiate. They're very good negotiators. They're crafty. But in the end, we have all the cards because we've defeated them militarily. Look, they have no Navy. Every ship, they have 159 ships. Every one of them are at the bottom of the sea. Every single one. We take pictures of them. We have people going down taking pictures of hundreds of ships. Their Navy is totally gone, 100%. Their Air Force is totally gone, 100%. Their military, we've sort of left it alone because we think that their military is somewhat moderate. They have other people that aren't moderate. We've taken them out. We've taken different forms of leadership out. We've actually...
Oh, Goldie! You heard that, right? He's confirming that the Artesh is being left alone for the Iranian people. Look at that. He did in the boom boom chart. Yeah, exactly. There we go. We got confirmation that this was on purpose.
Right?
Yes.
So, guys, for those watching, this is the IRGC here, and this is the army, the Artesh. So when you look at the Boom Boom Bingo sheet, a lot of people within the IRGC have been targeted, but the Artesh has been left alone. And a lot of people were wondering why that was. And I was saying, I think it's because of the defections, because I believe there are some high-level people who have defected and who have joined with His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi. And if the people, like if let's say the United States and Israel targeted those army commanders that have not defected, and then only the ones who have defected remain alive, then that would pretty much be exposing them for who they are. So this way, not only are we protecting the identities of those who may have defected, but Armin, I think this is also creating tension between the IRGC and the Artesh. So President Trump is creating further internal divisions because now the IRGC is going to be looking at the Artesh and saying, oh my gosh, are they actually going to be like rising up and planning like a military coup or something?
That's a good point. Good point. It also, by the way, Goldie, what do you think about this? It also suggests that President Trump is very eager to not just leave infrastructure for the Iranian, because a lot of people keep criticizing President Trump for not going more aggressive. But I genuinely think that President Trump is really, I mean, if it comes down to it, he does whatever necessary, but he is very eager to leave infrastructure and an army for the Iranian people after the regime falls. Like, I think he's very much interested into making sure he doesn't break too many things. And he thinks that not the heads of the army, because as you mentioned, many of these people are IRGC related anyways, but he doesn't want the body of the army to be destroyed to the point where we don't have security after the regime falls. So he wants to leave the Artesh for the Iranian people. And that shows how much long-term he's thinking and how much he's thinking about after the Islamic Republic.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. And, that's something that King Reza Pahlavi has mentioned as well in one of his speeches. I can't remember which one it was, but he spoke about like de-Baathification in Iraq and how the complete destruction of the entire governmental system in Iraq after 2003 actually led to that power void. And King Reza Pahlavi has always said, we don't want like de-Baathification. And that's why there's this, there's the ability for people who are within the Islamic regime to defect and, secretly join with, his team. And because he said, like, after the fall of the Islamic regime, anyone whose hands are not covered in the blood of the Iranian people is more than welcome to be a part of the new system to help rebuild the country, because the reality is we're going to need, the bureaucrats and the technocrats and the people who, run like the, Ministry of, water, or, natural gas, or, infrastructure, whatever, right? Education, health, all these things, right? The issue, the problem is not with these people, right? And even those who are within the apparatus of the Islamic regime, again, as long as they're not, they're not murderers, then there's no issue. Like we're not going to go hunting people. We want unity. Like we want to heal our country and move on. And only the people who are responsible for, crimes against the Iranian people, they'll be the ones who have to face, have their day in court.
Exactly. By the way, Goldie, can you hear this thing in my background, or you cannot hear it? I need to see if I need to fix it.
Wait, what is this?
There's this. I have this thing that is like making a lot of noise. I was just wondering if you hear it.
No, I don't hear anything.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay.
Their Air Force is totally gone, 100%. Their military, we've sort of left it alone because we think that their military is somewhat moderate. They have other people that aren't moderate. We've taken them out. We've taken different forms of leadership out. We've actually...
Armin, apparently some people can hear it, though.
Okay, I'm gonna go fix it.
Okay.
Actually left their military alone. People would be surprised to hear that, because mistakes have been made in wars where you wipe out everybody, and then you have a country that's, for 40 years can never rebuild. You look at what happened with Iraq. We did so bad. That was such a foolish thing, what we did. Shouldn't have been there in the first place, by the way.
So, that's really interesting, guys, because His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi has spoken about, how he does not want a de-Baathification process to happen in Iran after the fall of the Islamic regime. And I find it really interesting that President Trump is now saying the exact same thing, right? So to me, that makes me think that there is perhaps more communication between President Trump's team and King Reza Pahlavi's team behind the scenes in some way, shape, or form. There may be some sort of communication happening, right? Because this is like the exact same messaging and the exact same thing that Reza Pahlavi had said.
And shouldn't have been in Iran, but Iran has the capability. If we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers 9 months ago,
let me go back. Let me see what he said there.
But Iran, by the way, can never rebuild. You look at what happened with Iraq. We did so bad. That was such a foolish thing, what we did. Shouldn't have been there in the first place, by the way. And shouldn't have been in Iran, but Iran has the capability. If we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers 9 months ago, they would have a nuclear weapon right now, and it would be a whole different story. Probably would have used it. You probably wouldn't have had you wouldn't have had Israel, but you probably wouldn't have had a Middle East. And then where do they go from there? And you get to see that when you see that when we went back, they had missiles aimed at Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain. They all got hit. And we were surprised. I was surprised. Actually, I viewed it as a positive because all those people came immediately to our side. They got hit. Now, they could have taken another view. They could have said, well, we want no part of it. Not that they like it, but they came to our side. And Iran is in a very bad position. They have no military. All they have is good talk, and they have a fake press. The fake news is probably their biggest asset. And I put something out.
Armin, he's talking about Durka News Network.
The biggest asset. He's right. They're best. The only thing they're good at is their propaganda. They lie really good.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad President Trump is calling it out. I mean, because again, Armin, it's crazy to me. It is absolutely wild to me that there are people in Western countries who take what the Islamic regime news outlets say at face value, as if it's like some sort of normal country with like freedom of press or something, right? Like it's all propaganda. It's all basically coming from the Islamic regime itself.
I think President Trump is watching Durka News through Iran Revolution Live. That's how.
Well, I mean, you're the one who's translating Durka News Network, so there you go.
Oh, okay, there you go.
On Truth the other day that I think was very profound. It said that we wipe out their military, we wipe out their Navy, their Air Force, their anti-aircraft, we wipe out everything, we wipe out their leadership, and then we wipe out their leadership a second time. And then at 2.5 times, we're dealing with the other half. And by the way, they're much more reasonable, and you could say that's regime change. But I said, so they would then raise the white flag of surrender. We give up to the great American military, the most powerful military. We give up, we give up, we give up. The New York Times would say, Iran has fought bravely and has defeated the United States of America. I mean, the coverage is so bad. You have a big win in a battle, and they say you lost. You knock out their entire Navy, and they say their Navy's doing fantastically. No, it was defeated, totally defeated. And they say, it's just a terrible thing for our country. And, you know, to really be great, you need a fair media. And we don't have a fair media. I mean, that's all they can do is lie.
Well, that's
they
the
have
Democrats.
No policy.
They have nothing to,
well,
nothing to go on.
They're Democrats, okay?
Yeah.
They have no policy. We have a new name for them, you know, Democrats. I call them, I will always call them until they straighten up, Democrats, because they want women to be put in danger by having men play in women's sports. Think of it. They want the transgender mutilization of your children. They want open borders. We want open borders. They want high taxes. You know, they voted against the tax cuts. They voted against no taxes on tips. They voted against no taxes on Social Security. They voted against no taxes on overtime. These have been so important. But the Democrats voted against all of that. But we call them Democrats, and it works out well because I take the word dumb, take the B off, because most people don't know that, you know, dumb ends with a B, but most people don't know. And all I do is I switch the E with a U, and you have a Democrat. And I came up with that by watching Hakeem Jeffries, because he's a dumb person. And I said, he's really dumb. I said, wait a minute, he's a Democrat. So I think it works. I don't know that it's going to be as good as Pocahontas or fake news or so many of the others that we've come up with. But I mean, I'm going to just call them Democrats because I don't understand how they can be so stupid.
I'd imagine if you could have timed things perfectly, having a conflict just in front of the midterm elections at a time like this isn't ideal. You acknowledge the high gas prices. You have consistently been willing to do the hard things, the things that your predecessor said should have been done, but they didn't have the guts to do them. You have taken them on, and Iran is a great example of that.
Well, you have a problem, you know, a structural problem, because you have the midterms, you have the elections. Well, that's going to go on for hundreds of years, every 2 years. So you have really a very small window. So if you wanted to play that game, then you would wait till the midterms are over, and then the following hour, you'll attack Iran because they cannot have a nuclear weapon. Most people agree with me on that. But then it gets maybe carried into, you know, the next election, whether it's a midterm or not. So you have a very short window for doing anything having to do with war. But I don't view that window. I view it, I have to do what's right. When I attacked Venezuela, it was really, I was hit hard. Now, I did that because of what they've done to our country in terms of sending prisoners in and drugs in and all the other stuff. You know, we have drugs down 97%, fentanyl and various drugs down 97% on drugs coming in by water. Now we're starting the land, and it's going to be it's actually easier.
I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the parts on Iran that President Trump spoke about.
Okay. Okay. I have I don't know if this is, you want to see this?
Yeah.
But I have a mullah from inside Iran. Also, there's a statement by Pezeshkian. Let me just read this. He posted something. Let me see if this is important. Okay, no, not important. Just as usual BS. But let me just show this to you guys, because I want people to understand the level of frustration of pro-regime people with the officials inside Iran. This is like might be too detailed for some people, but I think it's important for us to understand what's going on there. Not here.
است ما هم بگویید حرف افتاده که توافقی صورت گرفت.
Okay, look at it.
اما آقایون مسئولین از دیروز حرف افتاده که توافقی صورت.
So this is Sheikh Ismail Ramazani. He's a person. He's one of the leading speakers, one of the leaders of the pro-regime Iranians, and he's talking about he's talking to the people, and he said like we've been hearing rumors that there has been a deal, and he's worried. He's worried that there has been a deal.
یا داره صورت میگیره.
Like we have been hearing there has been rumors that there's a deal.
اونا میگن ما اعتمادم نداریم. میدونیم.
So like it's them, like the Americans are saying that there's a deal is happening, and we don't trust them. Obviously, we don't trust the Americans.
هم دروغ میگن.
We know that they're lying.
خدا اگر من سر سوزنی مماشات کنم یا بخوام یکی به تخت یکی به نه، من دینمو به هیچ کی نفروختم تا حالا بعد از این شاید قیمتی دادن.
Like he said, we will never betray Islam. We will never sell out.
که فروختم ولی تا الان نفروختم. دارم صادقانه میگم.
Like I'm being very very honest with you.
اعتماد نداریم ولی دارن میگن که تنگ هرمز باز میشه.
Like he's saying it's true that we don't trust the Americans, but the Americans are saying that you're opening the Strait of Hormuz.
دروغ میگن.
Like they're lying. We know that they're lying. We know that the Americans are lying. Because he's saying to the Islamic Republic regime officials that of course you guys would not open the Strait of Hormuz. Tell us that they're lying. Like tell us that the Americans are saying that you're going to open the Strait of Hormuz, but please say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
دارن میگن که 30 روز دیگه 60 روز دیگه توافق هسته‌ای قرار صورت بگیره.
Like they are saying, the Americans are saying that 30 days from now, 60 days from now, we're going to have an agreement on the nuclear agreement.
دروغ میگن. دارن میگن که نمیدونم قرار ما برگردیم.
Like of course they're lying. They're lying. And then they're saying, the Americans are saying
قبل از جنگ دروغ میگن ولی
they keep saying that everything is going to go back to the conditions before the war. Okay, they're lying. Fine, the Americans are lying. Like he's basically trying to say like I'm not saying that I trust the Americans. There's a but coming here, right? There's a but coming here. He's basically saying that I'm not saying that I trust what the Americans are saying, but what is the truth? Okay, the Americans are saying that you're going to sign. So guys, for people who might be new here, these pro-regime people are scared that if the Islamic Republic is going to sign a deal with the Americans, they would see it as a surrender. They would see it as a betrayal. They would see it as treason. They would see it as negotiating with the devil, talking to the devil. They would see it as capitulating to the people who killed the supreme leader. So this guy is now saying that, sure, fine, the Americans are lying, but why don't you tell us what the truth is? Why are the regime officials, why is the Islamic Republic not coming out and telling us what is happening? Like, tell us that this isn't true. Tell us, they say it ain't so. Say, I'm not saying I trust the Americans, but why aren't you coming out and telling us that it ain't so? Like, why are you just hiding, right?
ما برگردیم به این قبل از جنگ دروغ میگن ولی راستش چیه؟
ولی راستش چیه? Like, but what is the truth? What is the truth?
چرا یه نفر با ما حرف نمیزنه؟
Why isn't anybody talking to us? This is a pro-regime person saying to the regime officials, why nobody from the regime is coming out and communicating with us?
آقایون مسئولین با ما حرف بزنید.
Like, dear officials, talk to us. Talk to us. He's telling the Islamic Republic to come and talk to us. So this is a mullah that is frustrated with the lack of transparency from the Islamic regime.
ما موجودات خطرناکی نیستیم.
Oh my God, this is beautiful. He's saying, I swear to God, we are not dangerous creatures. Okay? You know why he says that? Because he knows the regime is scared of the Durka. So guys, the Islamic Republic has invested so much in Durka that it has created something that the regime is afraid of, right? This is Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein being afraid of the Frankenstein monster. So he's telling the regime, like, I swear to God that we are not dangerous creatures. Like, come talk to us. We don't bite. And he says that because he knows the regime is afraid of their bite.
به خدا ما برادریم. گفت
Like, I promise that we are brothers. So he's saying to the regime, like, we are your brothers. Don't be afraid of us. Come talk to us.
سلامی گر
So guys, remember how many like guys, these are things that were behind the scenes coming out in the open. For years I have been telling you that the regime is scared of these people. The regime is scared of its own creation, right? And this is like a Durkab jihadi Haydar mullah telling the regime that we're brothers, like come talk to us, treat us like brothers.
آقایون مسئولین با ما حرف بزنید. به خدا ما موجودات خطرناکی نیستیم. به خدا ما برادریم.
به خدا ما برادریم. I swear to God we are brothers.
گفت سلامی گر نمیگویی به دشنامی تو شادم کن.
So he's saying, if you're not gonna say hi to us, at least come swear at us, so that we at least he's like, if you are not even gonna come, this is the mullah in here, guys. This is so amazing. This mullah in Iran is telling the Islamic regime that if you're not gonna come say hi to us, at least come and insult us, come swear at us, because at least we want to hear something from you, right? He basically saying, at least if you attack us, we will at least know your position. You have left us so much in the dark that we don't even know what your position is. At least come and attack us so that we at least get some clarity here. Yeah, please come swear at us. He's saying, please come swear at us. Come insult us.
لااقل یه فوش به ما بدید. ای مسئول نزار قبل از تو یکی دیگه توافقو برای من تعریف کنه و بعد من
He's saying, oh officials, don't let somebody tell me what is in the agreement before you.
Are they calling out Pakistan?
No, they're calling out the Islamic regime. No, this is some B-roll that they're showing.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is just the B-roll being played, but he's calling out the regime. He's saying, please make it so that I don't hear what's in the deal from someone else. Make it so that you, the officials, are the source of my information. I don't want to read it on the news and then for you to come and tell me if it's true or if it's false. Guys, isn't this revealing? Isn't this revealing for what's happening right now in Iran? This is proof that President Trump has broken the Islamic regime. Okay, this is proof. What I'm showing you is proof. The extent of damage that the ceasefire and the negotiation has done. Look how the mullahs are speaking about the regime. Like, yeah, exactly. Somebody's saying this is fantastic. Yeah, this is President Trump's. The results of this negotiations and the ceasefire is this, right? Okay.
لااقل یه فوش به ما بدید. ای مسئول نزار قبل از تو یکی دیگه توافقو برای من تعریف کنه و بعد من تازه را بیفتم بگم این نبودا. خب چرا اونجوری؟ بیا بگو.
Like they come and say that, oh, this is in the deal, and I have to go around and say like, no guys, don't worry, that's not in the deal. Like, why is it me that have to go around tell people that this is not in the deal? Like, why aren't you saying anything?
من بگم آقا گور بابای هر چی اون طرف. خب چرا اونجوری؟ بیا بگو. من بگم آقا گور بابای هر چی اون طرفی است که دروغ میگه.
So just come give us the version of what's happening so I could say to hell with those people on the other side. By the way, every time I say Americans, he's actually not naming the Americans. He's saying those people. Like, he's not even thinking of the Americans are even worthy of mentioning. It's like, just come say it so that I could say like to hell with those people. So he's saying this is what he wants to hear. He wants to hear that our officials coming out and telling us, don't worry about the Strait. Don't worry about the Strait. The Strait will never go back to how it was. So this is what he wants to hear. Okay, so this is because, guys, the context is that the pro-regime people are worried, right? Because their desire is for the Strait of Hormuz to always be blocked by the Islamic Republic from now till forever, for it to never go back to how it was before they killed Ghamari. That's what their demand is. And he's saying, officials, please come tell us. Please come tell us that this is going to be how it is going to be. These Americans keep saying on the news that the Strait of Hormuz is going to be open we need you to come reassure us that the Strait of Hormuz will never be open. So guys, you see, this is another indication for how difficult it is for the Islamic Republic to surrender. Okay, forget about even the nuclear and the nuclear dust or the enrichment. Even on the Strait of Hormuz, these people are nervous that the pro-regime people are nervous that the Islamic Republic is going to open the Strait of Hormuz. They can't even tolerate that, and they're stressing out. They're having anxiety over what if our officials betray us and they open the strait.
برمیگرده به چه وضعی توضیح بدید. مسئول من گفته نگران تنگه نباشید. تنگه به وضع قبل بر نمیگرده. به این وضع برمیگرده. به چه وضعی توضیح بدید.
Just come and explain it. Like what changes are you going to make in the Strait of Hormuz?
حرف بزن.
Harf bezan, speak. He's telling the regime officials to speak. What? Some transparency here, please.
تعلیق بلا تکلیفین این که من هی این طرف اون طرف رو نگاه
like all of these delays, all of this not knowing what's happening.
کنم هیچ کی با من حرف نزنه.
I keep looking here, I keep looking there, nobody's talking to me.
میکنم.
Like I'm having a heart attack. I'm having a heart attack. The regime officials are not speaking to us. I'm having a heart attack. So yeah, that was that. Okay, just wanted to show you that. So yeah, guys, they're not having a good time. They're not having a good time. They're stressed. So I'm seeing people in the chat saying something about Pezeshkian. Oh my God, it's true. What? Wait, is it true? Oh my God, it is true.
What?
Look at this. Oh my God, Goldie. پزشکیان به دلیل تسلط کامل فرماندهان سپاه بر اداره کشور استعفا داد. Guys, Pezeshkian has resigned because the IRGC has too much control. He resigned against the wishes of Mujtaba, so-called Mujtaba. It's true. I saw it in the chat. I was like, is this really true? Yes. Wow. I think he's resigning for a different reason.
Okay, it hasn't been confirmed yet because it says an informed source.
Oh.
He's requested
let's read the caption.
Yeah.
So here. Oh, yes, you're right. Guys, this is Goldie always pays attention. Let's read the full thing, okay? An informed source told Iran International that Masoud Pezeshkian, president of Iran, of the Islamic Republic, has requested to step down from his... Oh, requested. The request... So, guys, be careful. The request might be denied. The request might be denied. So, and if it gets denied, he doesn't have any... it's going to be very hard. Like, it's not really his choice. Has requested to step down from his position by sending an official letter to the office of Mujtaba Khamenei, leader of the Islamic Republic. According to information received by Iran International, in this letter sent in the past few hours, guys, this has just happened, okay? Pezeshkian has issued a warning in an unprecedented and critical tone that the country's administrative structure has effectively veered off from official channels and the main pillars of governance have fallen under the complete control of a specific faction of IRGC commanders, Goldie, not IRGC. This is a very important clarification. It's not under IRGC. It's under a specific faction of IRGC commander. Guys, this shows that the division is even within the IRGC. Not all IRGCs united.
Well, Armin, so just on that point, so one thing that I've been saying is that there's a strong division between Vahidi and Abdullahi, because apparently, like, Vahidi is sort of on his own, but Abdullahi is loyal to Ghalibaf. So that's why Murad Vaisi thinks that there, that could be one of the major divisions within the IRGC itself, because Abdullahi has always been Ghalibaf's right-hand man, whereas Vahidi is not. So what Iran International is now saying kind of confirms that there are, even within the IRGC, it's all fragmented because there's so much infighting, even amongst those who are still left alive here.
So Abdullahi, you're so correct, has a history with Ghalibaf. Okay, Vahidi is now uniting with Shariati, which has Shariati is at the bottom left of the IRGC chart, right? Shariati is an old timer, like right at the bottom left, second to the top. Yeah, Shariati. No, Jafari. Sorry about Jafari.
Oh, Jafari. Okay.
Jafari and Vahidi are working with each other. Jafari has a lot more respect within IRGC. Okay. So, and Vahidi and Jafari are doing a coup against the office of the Supreme Leadership. The office of the Supreme Leadership is working with Ghalibaf to try to protect the office of the Supreme Leadership against the Vahidi and Shariati coup. Okay. And this is why the office of the Supreme Leadership recently came out and fully endorsed Ghalibaf. And also the office of the Supreme. So Ghalibaf's connection within IRGC comes from Abdullahi. The office of the Supreme Leadership's connection to the IRGC comes from Hossein Taib. That mullah guy over there.
Yeah. Wait, where is he? Wait, let me pull it up. Taib is this one. Yeah.
That one. Yes. So that guy was and could still be Mujtaba's right-hand man. They're buddies. They're from the Habib circle, because Mujtaba and Hossein Habib, they used to fight with each other. They served at the same time in the Habib battalion in the Iran-Iraq war against Saddam. So because of the Habib battalion, they formed the Habib circle, and all the years where Ali Khamenei was the supreme leader, Mujtaba was killing people and eliminating people with Hossein Taib together. Okay, and Hossein Taib and Mujtaba Khamenei, they're the people who killed Hashemi Rafsanjani, by the way, together, right? So we have basically the three forces, like you said, Ghalibaf, Mujtaba's people, and Abdullahi on one side, probably Abdullahi, and then Vahidi and Jafari on the other side. And the Paidari camps are thinking that they're left behind, and they're trying to figure out a way to get in, but they're left outside.
Wow. And guys, I want to make it very clear as well. Pezeshkian is a nobody. He literally has no power within the system. He's basically just a puppet. He's a tool. So him resigning in and of itself doesn't mean much to the Islamic regime. But why this is significant is that him wanting to resign shows that there are cracks within the system. So that's the significance of Mujtaba Khamenei resigning. The significance is not that now all of a sudden the Islamic regime is going to collapse. No, because the president is just a puppet, right? It's a totalitarian dictatorship, right? So there are big elements that are in power above Pezeshkian. So it that in and of itself is meaningless, but it's a fact that he's resigning and what he is saying in his supposed resignation letter. Now, Armin, just really interesting is the fact that we don't even know whether or not the Islamic regime is going to allow him to resign should send a signal to everyone that this is a totalitarian regime, because in what normal country would an elected official who wants to resign be told, no, you're not allowed, you have to stay in your position, right? So once again, it's the regime exposing itself.
Yeah, and Goldie, I think Pezeshkian has figured out that he's being sacrificed and he's trying to save his life.
Yeah.
I think Pezeshkian has figured out that his purpose is to take the blame for flexibility towards the Americans. I think that's why they're trying to make it seem like recently the new trend among the Islamic Republic is that we're a democracy. And that the fact that that's the new trend, to keep reminding people we're a democracy, the whole point of that is to say that, oh, Pezeshkian is making the decisions and we're forced to listen to him because he has the votes. So Pezeshkian is like, oh no, oh, I'm in danger, right? Oh no, these people are going to just like capitulate to the Americans and say it was my decision. Like, all right, can I get out of here before you guys sacrifice me? That's what's happening. Oh my god, that thing
And
is
it's
getting
so
loud.
strange, Armin. It's so strange that he put out this weird statement last week, saying, or just like a few days ago, saying that the internet needs to come back online, and now all of a sudden he's resigning.
I think they told him to like, hey, say that this is Goldie. This is honestly what I think happened. Okay, they told him like, listen, they're not going to turn on the internet, but go say to turn on the internet so that people see that you were on the right side and you get some support. And you're like, okay. He went and said like, guys, we need to turn on the internet, and they turned on the internet, and he was like, what? What happened? Like, how did this happen? And I'm like, oh, and now he's realizing they're trying to pretend that he has a lot of influence so that they could blame things on him. And like, no, that's not. I think he's starting to figure out what's happening, and that's why he wants out. Oh my god, I need to go fix this. It's getting really loud. Sorry, guys. I'll fix it I'll get somebody to come fix this. But yeah, let's actually. I'll speak loud noises, guys. I'm being attacked by the Islamic Republic because these are loud noises. All right. But I'll try to be louder myself so you can't hear that. It continues by saying, it remains unclear whether Mujtaba Khamenei will agree to the president's resignation. But, oh, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Goldie just said. We have to see if they agree to it or not. But the content of the letter points to a deep and unprecedented rift and the highest levels of power within the Islamic Republic. Guys, see? Goldie is always right. These are the results of President Trump's roller coaster games with these people. Remember, guys, how frustrated you were? You remember how frustrated you were with the ceasefire and the negotiations? This is the result. You can't produce these results with bombardments. You cannot produce these types of results with bombardments. In fact, bombardments are good. Everybody likes a cutlet. Everybody likes a freshly cooked cutlet. That's true, but it's not enough. This is what you need to destroy the Islamic Republic from within. And then it continues saying, in the letter, Pezeshkian emphasized that the president and government have effectively been sidelined from major and vital decision-making processes in the country, and the resulting vacuum has paved the way for extremist factions within the IRGC to seize control of affairs. He also stated that under such conditions, he's unable to manage the government or fulfill his legal responsibilities, and for this reason, he has requested immediate resignation. This development comes amid ongoing tensions in recent months between the government and the Islamic Republic's military security institutions. Iran International had previously reported that the IRGC has gradually curtailed many of the presidency's authorities. That's actually not true. Like the authorities, he never had any authorities, and in practice, taking control of key sectors of government. According to informed sources, this situation has trapped Pezeshkian's government in a political and executive deadlock, one that neither allows for advancing diplomatic negotiations nor permits the completion and implementation of desired changes in cabinet structure. This is really good news. This is really good news, guys. We're making so much progress. Unbelievable. Loving this.
Wow.
Yes. Oh my god. Can't wait for analysis. Yeah.
I can't wait for the media or like the Democrats or all the pro-Islamic regime people. I wonder how they're going to spin this, because they're constantly saying Iran, or they mean the Islamic regime, right? Like the Islamic regime is winning, it's more powerful than ever, blah 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 blah. Well, if that's the case, why the heck is the president resigning if the Islamic regime is in such a position of strength and power, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we'll see how they will try to spin this.
Oh, someone
But
someone is saying that apparently Tasneem News denied the report. Yeah, but so remember, Tasneem News is Islamic regime
IRGC.
media outlet. That's IRGC. So yeah, like they would definitely want to deny this, right? But
yes,
this is
because
interesting though. Interesting development if true.
yes, so it's never 100% confirmed, but Iran International has a good record
Yeah.
for these things. So, and Tasnim is motivated to try to pretend that things are normal and not things are moving. There's no chaos, and this is Pezeshkian resigning will be a clear demonstration that everything is not as calm as the state media tries to pretend. Like this would be an obvious if you actually look at the state TV right now and state media, they're desperate to try to show that things are going back to normal and the Islamic Republic is stable. The president, as much as the president is like a nobody and doesn't have any authority, the president resigning is a demonstration that things are not good. Like things are breaking apart. It would give that impression to everybody, especially for a regime that right now is desperate to pretend like they're a democracy. The person that is supposed to be the symbol of the people's vote is resigning, shows that it's not. I mean, think about it. Right before this, the Islamic Republic was actually leaning into keep saying like, oh, we're a democracy, we're a democracy. It's not the supreme leader that makes every decision, it's the people. And the very person that is fakely has been voted in to be the president by fake elections, that person is now coming out and saying, well, I have no authority. It's the IRGC that has all the authority. So that's an admission that, yeah, this is not a democracy. So this is devastating for the Islamic Republic. They wouldn't want this at all.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Wow. And then Mark, I just wanted to share this. So, oh, my browser lost connection to audio. Sorry. Not that I need it, but I'll just share this anyway really quick. So look at this. So Mark Levin posted this morning 40,000 never came back. So he's sharing images and footage of the slaughter or the demonstrations right before the slaughter. And then Reza Pahlavi's comms team have reposted him and saying Iranians will triumph over this evil regime and will never forget those who stood with them during these critical days. Thank you, Mark Levin Show, for standing with the people of Iran.
Wow.
Yeah. And at some point, I think maybe if we have time after the super chats, I want to watch what President Trump posted on Truth Social about Mark Levin, because he literally said, watch Mark Levin tonight at 8, a big show. And Mark Levin was speaking about Iran. So I haven't watched that, but we should definitely watch that at some point, I think. Because if President Trump is saying to us, watch this, we probably should watch that.
We should. So maybe we should jump into the super chat so we could save some time for this.
Yeah.
You want to do that? Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, the super chat didn't kick me out. Amazing. Fantastic. The scene.
It's, you know what?
Okay.
It's because I set up the layout this time around before the show started. I set up the layout so that it would work.
Oh, okay. No, it's kind of funny though. I get kicked out every time we change things. Okay, so let's look at the super chats. Torah saying, hey, Armin and Goldie, with the heart emoji, saying, I made this song about BB June and the Iran Revolution. Could you guys give it a listen? If so, I will link the song in the chat. Sure, yeah, send us the link. We'll take it. I mean, you could send it to me. You know how to reach me, so send it to me and maybe I'll listen to it and I'll share it with Goldie and see what Goldie thinks. Okay, so send it to me and I'll share it with Goldie, and Goldie will share it if Goldie approves. And thank you, Tora. That's very sweet. Thank you for doing that. And then Amir just gifted 1 membership for somebody in the live chat for Liberty Politics. Thank you, Amir. And then we have Why Not with the super chat saying, hello, I've been watching since the protest started. Well, thank you so much for being with us here all this time. Why not? I appreciate that. Back in late December from Hill Country in Texas. Oh wow, Texas. Goldie's favorite state. Mom and I are watching. Yeah. Mom and I are watching. We love you all. We'll love you back. Say hi to mom.
We love y'all too. Say hi to mom. Or I should say howdy to mom.
Howdy. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being by our side all this time. T. Thompson, thank you for so much for the super chat saying, I love both of you. Both of your, oh, this is nice. I love both of your deep understanding of the history of the world and Iran. Wow, thank you. In the US, we cannot remember the last news cycle. Okay. Well, here's the thing, in defense of Americans, it's because you have a more stable country. usually the more chaos you have to deal with, the more interested you get in politics, and the more stable you are, the less interested you get. But thank you. I appreciate that.
That is a good point.
Yeah. Okay. Tora, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. And then we have Fleshy Interloper. Thank you so much for the super chat saying, does Trump's other side mean Iranian? Oh, does Trump's other side means Iranian regime? Oh, the other side. I think you're referring to, if I'm not mistaken, when Trump is talking about like the two different types of people that he's dealing with within the regime. If that's what you're referring to, I think this is President Trump's mind games with the Islamic Republic, trying to divide the Islamic Republic to these more jihadi, Durkha-minded ones, and some more reasonable, more flexible ones. And by dividing them and by not clarifying who he's talking about, making it so that the regime turns against each other. So I don't know if that is his plan, or but if it is, it's genius. But even if it's not, it's actually working that way. It's producing amazing results. I don't know if I understood you properly, but if I did, that's what's happening, right? And then we have another super chat by Tora. Thank you so much. Super sticker this time. Thank you, Tora, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then we have Amir. Always supporting us, saying Tora. Oh, Amir is doing a super chat talking to Tora, saying BB June, Tora Worldwide, BB June, great song. Oh, that's the song that Tora has made. Regardless if you love or against him, it's still BOP. What does that mean?
It's still a bop, I think. Like it's still I think he means like it's still a good song.
It's still a good song. Okay. Send it to me. I will listen to it. Thank you. And I'll share it with Goldie as well. Thank you. Look at you guys being supportive of each other in the chat. That's very sweet. And then we have Dr. Yode saying David Barney's oh yes. Oh, I love that guy. Mossad chief today ended a speech by paraphrasing from Saadi's Golistan. Did he do that? We need to find that. He quoted Saadi's Golistan. He did head of Mossad quoted Persian poetry, telling the Islamic Republic, never open a door you cannot lock again. Is that true? Oh my God, that is amazing. We need to find that clip. Thank you for telling me. That is, you guys have no idea how much Iranian people are going to adore this. First of all, he has done so much good. Like, this is the man in Israel that has planned the fall of the Islamic Republic for years now. So the Iranian people appreciate this man so much. And now you're telling me he's quoting Persian poetry. You have no idea. Whatever his popularity among Iranians was before, it's now going to be 100 times higher. So we need to find that clip and show it to the Iranian people. Thank you so much for telling me. I'm going to go on a hunt for that clip. I mean, honestly, I don't think I even need to. I think it's going to go viral before I even get a chance to go find it. Right. So we'll see. And also, thank you so much for another super chat by Scruff Diesel saying the IRGC is using the Ayatollah as a rubber stamp. Yeah, that's true, exactly. And guys, we have had this in the Islamic history. The Abbasian caliphs at some point in history turned into rubber stamp caliphs for the military people. So this is exactly a repeat of that in history. So that's exactly a very accurate explanation of what's happening. Okay, Goldie, we have some Rumble rants that
Yes.
people.
So Great Mega King was asking, Goldie, do you have any old videos of you debating from back when you were a politician back in the day? Yes. So there's a YouTube playlist. If you go to my YouTube channel, I think I sent you the link, but yeah, it's just called Ontario Politics. It's an archive. There's a few videos there. I mean, it doesn't have like every single video, but it's got a bunch of stuff in there you can check out. And then Tulkor asked, do you think this could be Pezeshkian trying to save his own skin in the event of a successful revolution? He sees the writing on the wall. Yes, I believe that this is probably Pezeshkian trying to save his own skin in a way, to, I don't know, maybe appear reasonable to the international community. I mean, the Iranian people, they're going to, like, for us, like, they're all terrorists anyway. But yeah, like, I definitely see this as Pezeshkian trying to save his own skin. What do you think, Armin?
So he's definitely trying to save his own skin. I do think he's thinking more short term. He's not thinking that much long term because he can't afford to think that much long term. He's thinking about the next 48 hours because he's under a more immediate threat right now. Like, he can't afford to think about what happens to him after the Islamic Republic falls because he's in danger now. And I think, he might also be, you're right, he might also have that in his mind. But I think what is stressing him out right now is the pro-regime Iranians thinking that he's selling out the Islamic Republic to the Zionists and the Americans and basically the supreme leadership, and even both the IRGC and supreme leadership sacrificing him as the reason for why we need to be flexible to the Americans. So, and basically we saw just a few days ago Ghazanfari, a member of parliament, coming out and saying Pezeshkian planned Ali Khamenei's killing, and now he's planning Mujtaba Khamenei's killing. And that video was posted by IRGC. So I think that is stressing Pezeshkian out more than anything else, more than the long-term thing that could happen to him, right? So what do you think, Goldie? When it comes to two threats, I think the more immediate concern for Pezeshkian is the current threat against him, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He probably just wants to, like, go into hiding and try to see if he can survive this, right? Like, I have a feeling that more and more each day, everyone who's left within the Islamic regime are kind of looking around and, wondering, are their days numbered and how many more days they have left before they're either boomed or someone from the Islamic regime gets them or the Iranian people get them, right? Like, if I was the Islamic regime right now, I would not be sleeping comfortably at all.
I think it's so correct. And I think Pezeshkian regrets ever accepting to run for president. He was like, they told me this would be easy. They told me that all I have to do is listen to Ali Khamenei and just confirm everything he's saying. I didn't sign up for any of this. Like, what is happening? I think he's so sad. Like, I should have never done this. Oh my God. I don't feel sorry for him, by the way.
No.
Okay. And then Fleshy Interloper with the super chat. Thank you so much, Fleshy. Saying, does Vahidi have a political position or is he just military strongman? Military strongman in Iran, within the Islamic Republic, being a military strongman gives you political position. So elections don't give you political position. Like, it gives you a fake title with zero political power. But IRGC is not just military. IRGC is the most politically strong part of the Islamic Republic. So having being a strong military man means that that's political, because the entire IRGC is political. In fact, this is exactly against the orders of Ruhollah Khomeini, the first supreme leader and the founder of the Islamic Republic, making it very clear that the IRGC should never be political. And right after he died, the IRGC and Ali Khamenei worked with each other, and the IRGC is now the most political part of the Islamic Republic. So there's no separating them from each other. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, remember the IRGC makes most of the decisions. So yeah, the military is making the political decisions, right? But that's a very good question, by the way, Felicia. And then we have Amit. Thank you so much for being member for 4 months, saying yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then we have another super chat by Sketch. Sketch is saying a game of I think Dorka. I think you mean Dorkas over there. It says Darks. I think that's autocorrect, I'm assuming. So a game of Dorkas is being played, so I quit before I lose. Yes.
That's probably what Pezeshkian's thinking, right?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I can't lose if I quit before I lose.
I mean, look at this, right? Look at all the people who've been boom boomed on the Durka boom boom bingo sheet, right? So yeah, it's definitely game of Durka right now.
Yeah, exactly. Game of Durka. That's love that. Justin, thank you so much for the super chat, saying, what do you guys think are the chances Ghalibaf was the one negotiating with USA? Very high, very high. And the IRGC found out about it and told him to resign. Well, so they're trying to, yes, the IRGC is taking position against Ghalibaf because they're thinking he's being very flexible with the Americans. But it actually goes deeper. Guys, listen to this. The IRGC thinks that Ghalibaf is telling the Americans who to kill within the IRGC so that the deal could go forward. The IRGC thinks that Ghalibaf and the Americans are working with each other on who to target and how to get different regimes. So Ghalibaf, they think Ghalibaf is going to the Americans saying that I could give you everything you want if you take out this guy and this guy and this guy, and here's where this guy is hiding, here's what that guy is hiding, and here's how you can take this guy. This is the level that we're at right now, okay? In fact, many people think that Larijani was like the reason how because Larijani was hiding very, very well. And some regime officials are saying there is no way that the Israelis could have found Larijani unless Ghalibaf sold him out to the Americans. And now some people also think that Ghalibaf also sold out Ali Khamenei to the Americans. So this is the levels of infighting we are at right now, right? So, but great question. And then we have Jeff Ashley. It's a new just became a member. Thank you so much. Welcome. And then we have PJ saying, keep on fighting, you all. We will. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the encouragement, and thank you for the support. And then we have Sketch. Sketch is saying, this pawn in the game of Durka's fear sacrifice. Yes.
I should make a game of Durka's meme or something like that. Oh my God.
Yeah. Goldie, we were thinking yesterday that we should make an AI video that basically uses Star Wars references, and basically, and Sketch was actually very good at connecting these to each other. Basically, different people within the Islamic Republic being different characters within Star Wars, to be able to more easily explain this to Americans of who's who, using Star Wars as a reference. But yeah, some people were coming up. That would be cool if we make an AI video based on that.
Yeah, just make sure that you don't get flagged for copyright, because Disney is like a stickler when it comes to like copyright stuff, right?
Oh my God, yes.
So be careful about that.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sure it can be done. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh no, you're right, actually. Okay, and then we have Justin. Thank you so much for the super chat. Justin saying, sorry, Pezeshkian, not Ghalibaf. I get all these guys mixed up. Oh,
He's-
wait, I
he's-
forgot what.
He's referring to the question. So the question was, he asked
go.
earlier, what do you guys think are the chances Ghalibaf was the one negotiating with the USA and the IRGC found out about it and told him to resign? So he means, what are the chances it was Pezeshkian?
Oh.
No, it would
No.
not be Pezeshkian because Pezeshkian was not part of the negotiation team. And again, Pezeshkian literally has no authority or power within the system. Even though he's the president, he's basically just a puppet. And he does the bidding of everyone else. So I would say the chances of Pezeshkian being the one who was like secretly negotiating, very, very, very low. Ghalibaf for sure. Like I do, like you were correct in your initial assessment, asking about Ghalibaf, and not
Yeah.
Pezeshkian. So
we're
people-
happy you made a mistake because your question became good. Like your question was really good with the Ghalibaf in place. Yeah.
Yeah. So for people who are wondering, so even though Pezeshkian is the president of the Islamic regime, although again it's a totalitarian system, so it doesn't mean anything. Ghalibaf, who's like the speaker of the parliament, again, it's all like these are all guys. Like when I say like the name of like their position, just keep in mind the position is completely meaningless, right? Like these institutions are completely meaningless. It's just there for show. Ghalibaf is actually more powerful than Pezeshkian and more influential. And Pezeshkian, I don't even think he has like the mental capacity to like engage in negotiations, right? Like he's Henk. He's Henk. I don't know. Like he's a very low IQ individual. He's still savage. He's still a terrorist, right? Like guys, keep in mind, they're all terrorists, right? But I just don't think he has the mental capacity to engage in like that sort of diplomatic negotiations. Ghalibaf, however, yeah, absolutely. So Ghalibaf is probably trying desperately to make a deal behind the scenes to somehow, preserve his life because, he is evil and he's a terrorist, but, he is more of a pragmatist. So he wants to remain alive.
So to Goldie's point, Ghalibaf is more powerful, and that has nothing to do with him being this parliament speaker. So that title doesn't give him power. His connection to IRGC and his loyal followers give him the power that he has, not being the speaker of parliament, right? And also
because he was, and it says here, guys, he was the former IRGC general commander. Like he was the commander of the entire IRGC before he retired, and then they gave him like a cushy position in politics or whatever.
People are saying my background audio is getting bad. How bad is it, guys? Sorry, I'll get it fixed. Oh yeah, and also one more thing, guys. Remember, when you want to see like who has influence within the Islamic Republic, there are three sources of power, right? How much military backing do you have? How much financial backing do you have? How many people support you and believe in you? Okay, so military power, economic power, people power, right? And Pezeshkian has zero military power, zero financial power, and everyone hates him. So like he can't be part of the negotiations because he has no leverage. He has no power, so he has no leverage. So what's the point of talking to him? But because he has no power, but he has a very interesting title, which is the president, a good title with no power means that you could be used as a scapegoat, right? That's the purpose of Pezeshkian. Very interesting, like powerful title, zero powers. Perfect scapegoat. Okay. The audio people are saying is bad or no? Now I hear it. Okay, it's getting bad. Okay. I'll do the super chats fast so you guys don't get annoyed. Is it annoying? Okay, Sherry.
It's okay. People, I'm sure people can survive until you get it fixed.
Okay. Guys, can you
maybe
survive?
Armin, maybe this is a universe's way of telling you to like take a break and like go shopping with your wife and buy a blazer.
Okay.
While you get the sound fixed or whatever.
Sure. Okay, sounds good. Okay, maybe tomorrow I'll take off then. Sherry, thank you for the super chat saying, Armin, your laugh is heartwarming. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I used to not like my laugh, but you guys in the chat made me be okay with my laugh because I used to not like it. Thank you, Sherry. And Philly, thank you so much for the super chat saying you said Pezeshkian is a puppet, so I assume that him resigning will have no effect in talks with Trump.
Yeah.
So yes and no. He is a puppet, but it's a use, like puppets have use. Okay, he is a puppet, meaning that he doesn't make decisions, but he's not a useless puppet. He's a useful puppet. Like if they're using him as a puppet, it's because there's utility in having a puppet, right? Him resigning is a demonstration that all things are not well within the Islamic Republic. It's a demonstration of the internal fighting. It's a demonstration of there's chaos. So I think that will indirectly have some effects on the talks with Trump, because when this goes out in the open, that reveals that there is chaos within the Islamic Republic. And guys, even though we know he's a puppet, globally the term president carries a lot of weight. So the Islamic Republic likes to act like the president is a big deal. So now that the president is resigning, you like on mainstream media, they're going to say like, oh my God, the president is resigning, right? So this is going to weaken the Islamic Republic's propaganda in them trying to demonstrate that they're strong. So given that from a propaganda perspective, the Islamic Republic is going to look unstable, they're going to have less leverage at the negotiating table. And them having less leverage at the negotiating table makes President Trump's position even stronger than before. So indirectly, it will have some effect. So yes, he's a puppet, but puppets have utilities and puppets do have their effect. Okay.
Armin, I have another update on this. Let me just share this really quick, because I just opened up my X account and I saw this. So let me just share this really quick with you. So since yesterday, conflicting reports have surfaced regarding the resignation of Masoud Pezeshkian, a resignation that, if true, has a very high likelihood of being accepted. Unofficial reports state that he has sent a formal letter addressed to the office of Mojtaba Khamenei requesting to step down from his position. In this letter, which various accounts say was sent yesterday or this morning, Pezeshkian has stated in an unprecedented and critical tone that the structure of the country's administration has effectively veered off from official channels, and the main branches of governance have fallen under the complete control of a specific faction of IRGC commanders. Pezeshkian emphasized in the letter that the president and government have effectively been sidelined from major and vital decision-making processes in the country, and the resulting vacuum has paved the way for extremist factions within the IRGC to seize control of it. Again, they're all extremists. What do you mean extremist factions? They're all extreme. This is breaking news, and further updates will be published subsequently. So it seems as if Pezeshkian is also trying to maybe like position himself as like the moderates that President Trump keeps on talking about in the mainstream news.
Like, pick me.
Yeah.
You know what? You know, Goldie, that would actually not be that dumb, even though he's kind of retarded, because he doesn't have any friends. So Pezeshkian might only his hope is for him to be protected by Trump. You know, given that everybody in the Islamic Republic is trying to sacrifice him, you're like, Trump, save me. I'm the good one here. Like, you're my President Trump. You're my only hope. All the oh my God, this is fun. Okay, guys, isn't it fun watching the people, our murderers, our killers, being so terrified and trying to taking position against each other and being terrified and wondering about whether they will survive this or not? This is a taste of their own medicine. This is how these people make Iranian people feel for the past 47 years. And now they're going through it.
Wow.
Oh,
sorry. Let me remove that.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the next. Guys, I might no longer be with you guys. I think there's going to be an explosion very soon in my office. So if I die, I love you all. It's been nice knowing you. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go to Kurt. Need to elect Texas Troop governor of Texas. I endorse that.
I agree.
Yes.
I endorse that decision.
Yes.
Texas Troop, if you run for governor of Texas, you have the full endorsement of Iran Revolution Live.
Yes. I know we're supposed to only focus on Iranian politics, but for this we make an exception.
I'll
Okay,
make an
this would
exception
be-
for Texas Troop.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then Evan Christensen, love that username, saying, has Armin what?
Poirot. Remember the French guy?
Oh
from
yes.
yesterday?
Oh, say that again, Goldie.
Poirot.
Okay, I'm gonna say I can't say that. I'm gonna say the Persian way. Poirot.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Poirot. Has Armin Poirot solved the mystery? Is Goldie feeling like gold? Oh. Goldie, do you think if Reza Shah did to mullahs like Ataturk, Iran would be free today? Oh, I answered this yesterday. So now she's asking you.
Yes, absolutely. I think if Reza Shah had actually done what the Islamic regimes say they did to the mullahs, Iran would be free today. So unfortunately, I feel like the Pahlavi dynasty, they showed too much leniency to the mullahs because the Pahlavis are normal, rational people who don't want to engage in jihad. Unfortunately, these mullahs took advantage of that, and I would say that the only criticism I have of Shahanshah Aryamir is that he showed too much mercy and humanity to the mullahs, because these mullahs are not human. I think they're savages and they're not capable of humanity, as evidenced by what we've literally seen, not just in the last 47 years, but in the last 2-3 months alone. And they're literally bragging about the fact that they've slaughtered 40,000 Iranians, and they're bragging about it, and they're saying that this is their right to murder people, for Allah and Islam and jihad and whatever. So yeah, I think Iran would absolutely be free today.
Okay. I give a different answer, but I'm gonna not bring it up.
Oh no, that's okay. You can share your answer too. I mean, if you have a different,
I went on a
opinion,
long. I went on a. I think like when I got this question yesterday. I think I went on 20 minutes
wow.
of talking. I went. Yeah. I went through. So we have a slight. I went and defended their. So this is I don't want to open that because it will be a long discussion. But
yeah,
if I clip that, I will send it to you, Goldie, and you could tell me what you think.
Well, you know what? No, I think we've talked about it before, because I think I know what you're going to say, because some people say that what's happened is basically it's demonstrated to Iranians why Islam needs to be like kicked out of the country, and so now like there's there's not going to be any sort of mercy shown to the mullahs moving forward.
No, that's not what I said.
Oh, okay.
What I said was the Shahs couldn't be as aggressive towards the mullahs as aggressive they were towards the communists, because back then the mullahs had respect in Iran. Islam was respected. Yeah. And I think if the Shahs were as aggressive against the mullahs as they were the communists, the Islamic Revolution would happen earlier. Like instead of having it in, like, if we would have a revolution earlier. I think the Islamic Revolution unfortunately was inevitable, and if the Shahs were more aggressive, instead of avoiding the Islamic Revolution, we would have less time with Pahlavi. And I think what Mohammad Reza Shah and Reza Shah did for us, they invested so much in our culture and our history, and reconnecting us to our national identity, that even though the Islamic Revolution happened, that was unavoidable, at least they left us with the weapons, and they planted the seeds in our minds for us to fight even after they're gone. And instead of fighting the mullahs and making all the people back then to turn against the Shah, They gave us the understanding for when we learned that this is not the way. They gave us the tools to fight against the mullah once we became once us as the people became as mature as I think Reza Shah and Muhammad Reza Shah were ahead of the people, were ahead of the Iranian people of their time. And fighting the mullahs cannot be done from the top. It could have not been done forced upon a society if the people were not there yet. So they gave us the Jashnai 2500 Saleh and the reintroduction to who we really are for us to now be able to finish that fight. That's the way I see it.
You know what? That is a very good point. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh wow. Oh, thank you, Goldie.
Well, I mean, I don't really think there's a right or wrong answer because we're basically giving our opinions based on history, and it's like a what if, it's like a theoretical, right? So different theories and different opinions, and I think yours is very, very well thought out.
Oh, I appreciate that. Wow, guys, it's a good day when Goldie says that. Like, I feel no, it makes me feel so confident. Thank you, Goldie. Goldie's like, I'm never gonna do that again. And you're so cringe, Armin, when I compliment you. I should compliment you less.
No, it's fine. It's okay. It's all good.
Okay. We've got another super chat. Amir, thank you so much. Saying in game of Durka, Pezeshkian equals Lannister. Wait, I forgot. Hold on. Which one? Lannister. Which one was that? I need to see the face. Oh yeah. Okay. Wait, who's the queen who's using him? Lancel Lannister, a useful idiot. Okay, yes, I see that. Good one. Thank you, Amir. Casey with the super chat, saying, Jeffrey is a general in Armir's army. You know what? Yeah, true. I like that. I don't know if he agrees with that or not, but I like that. Wait, let me see this. Okay. And then we have Tom. Thank you so much, Tom, for the super chat, saying, not surprised the cracks are starting to show in the regime. The Anaconda strategy is how America fights and wins our wars. In U.S. flag. Yeah. I mean, it's working. Usually, it's very effective. Why is it the Anaconda? Why is it called the Anaconda strategy? Is that a name for this tactic? I have to look that up. Okay, I'm gonna look that up later. And thank you, Tom. Is that a name, Goldie, for the strategy of causing division? Because Anaconda is like crushing your bone. Maybe like they're crushing your bones from within. They're squeezing you. Yeah.
So the Anaconda strategy or plan is a military and economic tactic designed to defeat an opponent by gradually cutting off their resources and suffocating them, much like an anaconda constricting its prey. Yeah, that does definitely seem like what President Trump is doing right now. He's cutting off their resources and suffocating them, right? Because there is both military and economic operations happening, right? There's been Epic Fury, and then also Scott Bessent and Economic Fury as well. So, and then the naval blockade as well. So, yeah, it's definitely I can definitely see how this could be sort of fit into the framework of the Anaconda strategy.
Okay. And then we have Scruff Diesel saying, thank you so much for the super chat, by the way, Scruff, saying, will the president be replaced with an IRGC member? Ooh, that's a good question. There have been IRGC members running for president, Mohsen Rezai being one of the famous ones. Ghalibaf has ran for president many times. He's an IRGC member. So, and that's Scruff, that's a very good question, because the IRGC is basically growing its tentacles everywhere. Like if you look at the so-called parliament Majlis of the Islamic Republic, so many of the members of parliaments are now IRGC. So many of even the fake institutions of the Islamic Republic are also now being taken over by IRGC. So if the president becomes an IRGC member, that would be a full-on, like the IRGC is basically not even hiding it, that they're basically doing a full-on takeover. So that is likely, that is very possible, and if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised. So Very good question, Scruff. That is a very nuanced and question. Good job. John McTavish is give us a super chat. Thank you so much. Saying hi. I'm currently in British Army. Oh well, thank you for your service. Based in
Thank you
Cyprus.
for your service.
Yeah, I have been missing. I have been missing my
I
wild.
think probably wife, maybe could be a typo.
I've been missing my wife being. Oh yeah, probably wife. I've been missing my wife. My something while being on deployment. Yours helps me with laughter. Thanks so much. So there's a word missing there. I don't think it's wife.
Yeah,
There's
right.
some. Yeah, you have been missing something, but whatever that thing is, we are there to help. Apparently, we're filling that gap there for you. Okay,
So
so
he's
with
saying that you
laughter,
helped me with laughter. Thanks so much.
yes.
Appreciate that. So
Yeah.
wait, I have a terrible British accent, but oi,
Oh.
matey. Hello there. Fish and chips. Blimey, crikey. Oi. Oi. I don't know. Is that good?
Oh, that was amazing. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was the
Like,
best. That was the best.
I would.
That was so good. Oh my god, somebody cut that part out. Okay. Yeah. People love it in the chat. Oh my god. Christian Evan Christensen with another super chat saying, quote from Poirot. I am not a bloody little frog. I am a bloody little Belgian. Oh, what does that mean?
So that's just a quote from, I guess, Poirot when
Saying he's not French?
Yeah. And Belgian people speak French as well, and they have French names.
Oh, so frog is basically he means like he's not French?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's racist basically against French people. So it's like just because I speak French, it doesn't mean I'm French. So racist Poirot. I'm just kidding, by the way. Okay. Okay. And thank you. And then we have Danny Delicious ISR. Thank you so much for the super chat saying, do you think diaspora Iranian would enlist to fight? Yes. There are many of them who have been begging for a way to enlist. Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely,
Yes.
100%.
Yes. Good question. And then we have Jakataik. Yes. Saying Armin is 100%. The Pahlavis refuse to sacrifice their people and principles to remain in power, and that is why they will always be superior to the mullahs. Yes, and that's why it's easy for us to defend them because it didn't go to their level. Exactly. Thank you. So, Muhammad Reza Shah was famously quoted during the revolution. His generals told him that, we could just basically really easily suppress this revolution. Like, they just give us the order. We could stop it easily. And Muhammad Reza Shah said, it said, if I have to shed the blood of Iranians to rule, I'd rather not rule at all. That's what he said. And that's why we remember him. And that's why he I know we paid a lot for it, but I think that we would have regardless. But at least now we have a symbol that we remember, and that's what we want to go back to. Guys, remember when terrorists fight ugly, if you go to their level, you might defeat them in the battlefield, but they have taken something so much more precious away from you. Okay, you have to. I know we want to have a quick wins against terrorists by basically using their own tactics. But if you use their own tactics, they basically took away from you what made you great to begin with. They took away from you what made you superior to begin with. So just invest long term. Eventually, we invest long term. We will keep defeating them instead of defeating them now only in this field. And then Philly, thank you so much for the super chat saying, by the way, Poirot is Belgium, not French. Yeah, apparently so. And he not only that, he's also racist against French people, apparently. Thank you, Philly. And the major actual with the super chat saying the Anaconda Plan was the federal government strategy to destroy the Confederacy in the U.S. Civil War. Oh, wow. Okay. And now they're using it against the Islamic Republic. Thank you so much for that. That's very good information. John McTavish with a super chat. Thank you so much. Saying it was supposed to be mom.
Oh,
my God.
so he's missing mom. Oh,
Mom. Oh my God. Say hi to mom for us.
yeah. Say hi when you can. And I'm glad that you enjoy our live stream. I'm glad that we're able to make you laugh. Again, I have a terrible, terrible accent, but if it wasn't copyrighted, I would play some Mr. Bean for you because I know like all British people, like you guys have a thing about like Mr. Bean. And then also, like you guys also have mushy peas. What's the deal with mushy peas? I went to like a pub in the UK like 10, 15 years ago, and I ordered like fish and chips. And instead of getting fries, they gave me like mushy peas. So I don't know what the deal is with mushy peas, but
was it good?
It was okay. It was, like I'm not usually a fan of like green peas, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. Yeah, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Say hi to mom.
Yeah, say hi to mom.
Yes. We got another super chat by Mir Schreiber saying, thank you so much. Saying, bear in mind, the whole Pezeshkian story may be the IRGC propaganda to blame him on opening the internet and dealing with Trump. I do think that him opening the internet is IRGC propaganda and blaming him. I mean, the thing is that Pezeshkian is not dealing with Trump. Pezeshkian hasn't been talking to Trump. It's Ghalibaf and Arakshi who have been talking to the Americans, right? I wouldn't see why the IRGC. Maybe you're right. I have to think about it, but I don't see the IRGC. It's not in the benefit of the IRGC right now to have a resignation of the president right now, because they're right now desperate to try to show that everything is now normalized and back to how it used to be, and no chaos. And this will go against that. So if you're correct, I'm not seeing it. I'm not saying why, but you might. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I have to look more into it to see what's happening if this is a IRGC propaganda. But good call. Making us keep an eye on whether or not this is a trick. It's good always to keep that in mind, because nothing, not everything that comes from the Islamic Republic, you always have to be skeptical about whether this is something that is actually happening or something that is engineered. So good instincts. And then we have Mike. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate you. Saying, love you both. Oh, thank you. Thanks for what you do. Well, yeah, well, thank you for supporting us. Armin's laugh is awesome.
It is.
Wow,
It is
okay.
pretty. It's pretty infectious.
Really?
I agree.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you, guys. What a confidence booster today has become. Both your passion and the fire and humor and laughs are healing. Prayer for free Iran. Well, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And then 2 more super chats. We have.
Wait, can I read this? Can I read this?
Yes.
I'm gonna try.
Yes.
Okay. As a Brit, Goldie, I enjoyed your British accent.
How do you do that? That's
I don't
great.
know. It's a terrible accent. No, I saw people in the comments where they were like, your accent was like a mix of British and Australian. Good day, mate. And totally true. Like I can't do. I can't even do like an like a Persian accent. I'm just terrible with accents. But there you go.
You're
Thank
doing
you
great.
for
I mean,
enjoying my
okay,
accent.
I like it.
I'm glad that my accent is British approved. With some Grey Poupon, and Earl Grey tea. Very good.
Wow, that's great. I love it. Okay, last super chat from the major actual.
Although
saying no.
I do want to say very, very quick, Yorkshire pudding is phenomenal. I love Yorkshire pudding. I just want to say that.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to try it next time I'm there. The major actual, thank you so much for the last super chat, saying, note that as I am in Texas and know Texas history, we know exactly what a black flag means down here. Someone needs to remind the Durkas like AOC about that. What does it mean? What does the black flag mean? Now curious. Ooh. I don't know. You should tell us. So we're gonna go to the next super chat. We got another one.
So a black flag in Texas usually carries a no quarter meaning. It's an implicit military declaration that the person flying it will fight to the death and will not take prisoners. In modern context, it's sometimes displayed by groups emphasizing political defiance, though historical usage is complex. So the Texas, it's basically implicit military declaration that the person flying it will fight to the death and will not take prisoners. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I learned
So basically, the major actual is saying, don't mess with Texas.
Don't mess with Texas. Okay.
I agree.
Cool. Cool. And then we have Shawl Patrol. Love that username. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it well, but love it anyways. Saying, there's a Jewish saying, if you show mercy to the cruel, you will end up being cruel to the merciful. Yes, you should never show mercy to the cruel. You should also be strategic with your cruelty. Sometimes it seems like you're being kind, but you're not. You're just thinking long term. But I completely agree. Maximum cruelty to the cruel. Completely agree. And yeah, that was it. So Goldie, do we have time to what? No.
Well, Mark Levin's clip is that President Trump posted. It's let me pull that up. It's about 9 minutes long. So I think it might be a good way to end the live stream. So let me just pull that up, because if he's speaking about Iran and President Trump is encouraging everyone to watch it, then we should
welcome back, America.
Should probably
so
do that.
Before you play it, can I tell people about the discussion group?
Yeah, go for it.
And then okay. Oh, and also last super chat. Hey, don't mock my Earl Grey. Okay, we're not mocking it. We appreciate it. Okay, so and thank you for the super chat. So guys, I'm gonna go to our discussion group in 12 minutes. The link is in the chat. The link is also in the QR code in the top right. It's also on Liberty Politics is in the bio. So if you want to talk to me and other people in our discussion group, come there and we'll see you there. And yeah, and so we're not going to have time for the ending because we're going to play that. So maybe I should say our thing now. Yeah,
sure.
Our thing now. Okay, so guys, before we listen to Levin, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainian, long live America.
God bless America.
Javicha.
Payande Iran.
See you guys.
It's always a pleasure to have America's wise man on the program. Victor Davis Hanson is a good friend, Hoover Institution senior fellow. He's got a great podcast as well. Thanks for coming, Victor. So let me ask you this question.
Thank you.
If you can put yourself in the shoes of the Iranian regime, how do you think they're looking at this right now?
Well, we don't know because this is a very unusual war. We have no ground troops, no embedded reporters. We don't know the extent of damage, but it seems to me that they have been economically devastated. 90% of their military is inert, but they have enough missiles, they think, and the Gulf states are so vulnerable, they think, that, and the Straits of Hormuz are so that traffic is a fragile entity that they can cause havoc and then delay the process, maybe hope for a global recession and drag it out until the midterms. They also are playing a very strange game. They're giving signals that the people talking to us, the quote unquote elected leaders, that they are at odds with the Revolutionary Guard. And we don't know because we've eliminated so many people if that's true, but you get the sneaking suspicion that they are the good cops and the Revolutionary Guard and the theocrats that every once in a while try to take out a carrier or hit the Kuwaitis or somebody. They're the bad cops, but they actually work in unison. And then the negotiators say to us, well, we can't control these people. We're sorry. We don't know what they're doing in the Gulf, laying mines and everything, but don't ruin the negotiations. And then that gives each of them credibility, I guess, against their competition for power. But at some point, we have to stop it. And there's a lot of ways to stop it, Mark, because militarily it's not a problem. It's a political problem. And it involves the world economy and the midterms and everything. But I think the president can find a way to kind of square that circle. If he tells them informally there's going to be a deadline to this nonsense and you're going to regret it, and we're going to do enough damage to your economy and your military that it's going to take you a quarter century to recover, and we're going to leave a residual force that's going to keep that strait open along with the allies. And then I think he can say that to them, because we can't continue to do this because they interpret survival with victory. I know that sounds Orwellian, but they do. Every day that they're still there, they say, see, we took on the superpower of civilizational history and we're still here and they couldn't stop us. And they give no context that all of our restraint is self-imposed on us. It's humanitarian, it's political, but it's not military. And we don't have to use, great weapons. We can defeat them from the air as we were doing, but we've lost about almost 2 months' time in these negotiations. And they interpret that as, and they look at magnanimity on our part as weakness to be exploited, Mark, not as magnanimity or kindness to be reciprocated. That's just the way they do. And you can't believe anything they say because they don't believe it's a lie. They think it's a strategic advantage not to tell the truth. So it's difficult to negotiate with them.
Let me ask you this question, Victor. In some ways, every war is different. We understand that. But in World War II, we required victory. We required that the Japanese surrender. We required victory. We wanted it over once and for all. It was the same thing with Germany. Italy was destroyed and so forth and so on. Obviously, tremendous amounts of damage to the civilian population, to industry, to communities, just massive throughout Europe and so forth and so on. In this case, there's a lot of pressure and a lot of people I hear saying that we can't have a victory per se. We've got to figure out how to contain them. We've got to come up with an agreement that's enforceable. And so from your perspective as a historian, I'm curious what you think. It's possible in the short term, I'm sure, but is it possible in the midterm and the long term to contain them? We have to take a break. As soon as we come back, that's my question to you. We'll be right back. Welcome back, America. Victor Davis Hanson. So does victory against Iran look different than victory, say, against Germany, Japan, Italy, and so forth?
Yeah, it does a little bit, because in the post-war era, we're in the era of nuclear weapons. So there's always a restraint that you can't escalate with enough damage to humiliate the enemy and ensure that he'll never again make war against you and change the government, as we did to a certain extent in Korea, but certainly in World War II. And then we're a therapeutic culture. So, in an age of global communications, you miss a target and there's a CNN reporter right there saying you're a war criminal, or the International Criminal Court might indict you if you miss an artillery strike target. So there's all sorts of self-imposed restraints. But that said, human nature doesn't change, Mark, and you turn military victory into strategic resolution by making it impossible for the enemy to continue the war. You can do that by changing the government. You can do that by destroying their economy and making them, but it's more periodic rather than final. In a sense, everything is periodic. You never really ever defeat some. You try to win them over to our cause. I think that's what the president is doing. He's saying that we're going to hurt their economy to a certain extent that they won't be able to make war, even if we don't have to be there with this full force. And we're going to try to destroy their military capability for 10 years. And then we're going to set in motion enough chaos that they won't be able to fund Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, or rebuild this maybe a $500 billion loss of 50 years in their military, industrial, nuclear complex. We're going to make that very difficult politically for them. So if they start using all of their new money, if the blockade ever, and they start investing in the same old, the people are going to rise up. And, you know, it's not a crazy thought. The Berlin Wall fell, and it was 2 years before the Soviet Union collapsed, and weeks, but often months for the rest of the Warsaw Pact to collapse. So I think the president thinks he's setting in motion the humiliation of this regime and making them have a lose-lose choice to either rebuild and use, when it's over, rebuild, and then if they do, they're going to alienate the people even further. So there's ways to get around these self-imposed restraints.
Yeah, my only problem with some of that is, number one, they don't have a nuclear weapon, so we don't have to fear that from them, thanks to what the president has done. And number two, they're already pushing the Hezbollah to continue doing what Hezbollah is doing. And number three, the Houthis have been completely untouched. And number four, Communist China and other bad actors out there, I suspect they're going to want to help Iran, especially when President Trump leaves. And if they see a weak Democrat as president, perhaps like an Obama or Biden, I think they're going to make their run for the finish line, or to do more in terms of very negative activity to us and to the Middle East. And plus their ideology is, they think, from Allah. Your last word.
Yeah, well, that's a problem. And we've had four administrations, and the Russians invaded Ukraine, and three of them are their neighbors in Ossetia, with Bush, Obama, and Biden, but not during Trump. So if he can reestablish deterrence, at least for 2 years, I think he can quiet. The Chinese are not in a good position vis-a-vis where they were 2 years ago. Russia is not, they've lost their toehold or their clients in Venezuela and Syria and now Iran. China's hurting. We're ascendant, but we just have to manage that a little better, I think, and wrap this up. If we wrap this up, then the further problems won't escalate. And we saw that with the bombing last June, and we saw it with Venezuela, we saw it with Panama. That creates momentum. But if we get stalled in negotiations, then the people come out of the woodwork and try to take advantage, but not a strong show in Iran. That will be really deterrent.
Beautifully said, my friend, Victor Davis Hanson.
Wow, that was very, very well spoken. And the fact that President Trump posted this video on his Truth Social and said everyone should watch it, I think that speaks volumes. So we'll have to save that analysis for another time, though, because we have to end the show. So guys, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see all of you soon. Bye everyone.
See you guys soon. Bye.
غرق انقلاب است.
کشور ما، تاریخ ما در سینگر فرا گرفته، گویی اهورا مستا دوباره در نور خود مرا گرفته. اکنون سرودی سر میدهم باز کار رنج و تشویش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. هن ای پدر، هن ای پسر، برخیز و با ما شو همگام، تا درد آن تجربه تلخ ما را نکشیده در خواب. بگذار هر دم بغرند گرگ‌ها دم لباس میش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ای کارگر، ای برزگر، راحت کنون ادامه دارد.
این زمان که پرتو یزدان از هر سو بر تو میبارد، پس پیش به سوی آزادی از بحر خزر تا کیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. خلقا به پا بهر دفاع از استقلال و آزادی، تا بشکنیم پشت ارتجاع تیریزی ایران آبادی. تا زنده سازیم سنت‌های می از هر آیین و کیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
با امید روزی که تمام این دلبشو انقلاب تموم بشه و ما در روشنایی، نور و سعادت مردم کشورمون غرق بشیم.
نه خارجی نه بیگانه، نه مستشارهای ویرانی، نه چیر خاران نه کاسه لیسان، فقط هم رزمان ایرانی. تا با شرافت میهنی بسازی بهر فرزندان خویش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. مردم بیایید داخل صف ما، اکنون که آغاز رویاست. دشمنان بدانید ما زنده هستیم، بعد از ما هم ایران پابرجاست. آن روح شیطان ما را فریب داد با صد شعار مردمیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. پرچم ما پرچم ایران غرق خون شهیدان، روی شانه هامان هم میکنیمش در هر خیابان و میدان. تا ماسک دلغکان را برداریم از روی تسبیح و ریش. ایران غرق